To IS340. I'm Professor Fahmi Jalani. Today we're covering Chapter 4 on ethical and social issue for IS. So let's take a look at some recent cases of ethical issue for some big organization. Here we have Barclays Banks and GlaxoSmithKline. So as most of us know, Barclays is one of the biggest, largest bank in the world. They were providing, technically they are supporting fossil fuel and funding them, and where most countries would ban. For example, they were supporting coal mining in Bangladesh, and it was affecting the environment. Okay. As for GlaxoSmithKline, there's several or numerous lawsuits against unapproved vaccine that was sold on the market. Okay. And most of the information are being buried by this company. Okay. And in the olden days, people tend to shred the reports and things like that, but today you can just delete it or remove it from your information system or database, which the public need to know. Okay. And then again, you ask the question of ethics. Where people who are working from the inside would expose this. That's where most of the issues or cases begin. Okay. So in IS, okay, some of the new ethical issue raised or we see would be on the social network, where there's bullying, for example, on the social network, threatening, okay, giving back reviews, okay, and extortion, or spamming, or being someone else on the internet. Right, it's a new crime. Okay, and it's happening right now. Okay, without we knowing it. Okay. So as we all know, the society is pretty much, it's like a pond, and it's very calm until there's a ripple effect. In this case, IT comes along, and where we have new rules and old rules which don't coincide together. Okay. Rules could be in political, social, okay, and ethical, which intertwine, which overlap or could be related to each other. So here you see the relationship, okay, of some of the issues, okay, political, social, ethical, okay, for individual, society, and politically. Okay. some other elements do include property rights, system quality, quality of life, accountability and control, and information rights and obligation. We'll take a look at individual of the five moral dimension. Okay? So in today's age, information is there, and what rights and obligation do we have? As for property, the information itself is technically a property. It could be a picture, it could be a video. Okay, accountability and control in terms of news, it could be fake news. Okay, who's controlling it? Could be some picture or meme, okay, something like that. System quality, whether can you trust the source, okay, and quality of life. Okay, with all this happening around us, how do we ensure that we live a normal life? Okay? Right. So as we all know, some of the trends is technically because with the rise of computing powers, for example, Moore's law indicates that technology advancement every 18 months. So, for example, you have iPhone 12, now 13. It's getting faster and faster. And also, the reduced cost of database, and today we can buy 1 terabyte of thumb drive, for example. They're really cheap. Okay, and that's where a lot of information are being stored. Okay, and also advancement in the internet. In the olden days, we have dial-up. Technically, you have to connect the internet by the phone line, but today is Wi-Fi. Okay. So we have advancement in data analysis. Okay, this is basically combination of different sources. Okay, so in terms of security, for example, intelligence from the FBI or NSA or CIA. Okay, and also we have NORA, which is basically non-obvious relationship awareness, where usually hackers would implant or send certain files or virus over the internet network and without us knowing it. Okay. Mobile device growth, as and when we use our mobile, indirectly we are being tracked. Okay, either through GPS or the internet, okay, without us knowing it. Right. So let's take a look at NORA, which is non-obvious relationship awareness. Some of the concern, we could be on the watch list. Okay, things like incident arrest system. Okay, government could install it and you can track where are you right now. Okay, customer transaction, the things you buy online. Okay, phone records, which are being recorded without us knowing it, and also HR system. Some ethical analysis. So technically, you need to identify and clearly describe the facts. Okay, right? What is right? What is wrong? High order values, for example, define conflict or dilemma. Okay, when you see a news, why is it happening? Okay, things like that. Okay, who are the stakeholder? Okay, the reader, for example. Okay, responsibility take. Okay, the person who post the news, does he has responsibility? It could be news company. what the option, what's consequences if it's wrong, do they apologize, what's the ripple effect. Basic concept, okay, we mentioned about responsibility. um, this would include or the cost damages, for example, lawsuit, okay, duties, obligation, decision, mechanism. So pretty much accountability of uh, the guy who posted it, or the company, or the news company. Okay, damages, are they able to recover it in terms of liability, and due process, is it possible to appeal, for example. Some ethical principle, uh, golden rule. So basically, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So basically, whatever you do to others, it will come back to you. See, what goes around comes around. That's the saying. Uh, in my world, if an action is not right for everyone to take, it's not right for anyone. So something is not right for somebody, you don't, so it won't be right for the rest of them. Discard, if an action cannot be taken repeatedly, it's not right to take at all. So it's not right for something to be done, don't do it at all. Okay. Others do utilitarian principle, take action that achieves the higher or greater value. See, when you do something, make sure it's the best. Risk aversion, take the action that produce the least harm. So to minimize the consequences, for example. And also we have no free lunch. So assume that virtually all tangible intangible objects are owned by someone unless there is specific declaration of otherwise. So nothing is done for free, okay, uh, unless it's a favor. Okay. And also we have the famous from Spider-Man, with great powers come great responsibility. Like big companies and even ourselves, we have our own responsibility. On top of that, we have professional codes and conduct, where you have organization or association, for example, AMA, ABA, ACM. This is basically regulatory for in terms of society. And also we have real world ethical dilemma. Okay, so the interest of one party might not be the interest of another party. Okay, so in this case, for example, right of company to maximize productivity of workers versus right of use of the net of shared personal tasks. Okay, company, right, would want productivity, where the individual, the workers, for example, would want time to for their own while working, see, to serve the internet, for example. So some impact, um, so pretty much IT reduces the workforce. In this case, you could have an answering machine. When you call a help desk, uh, a robot could be answering it, or you call it, if I'm not wrong, it's a mobot. Okay, voice recognition software. Okay, uh, other dilemmas could be monitoring workers, CCTV, right, connected to the internet, watching the workers' productivity. Okay, and it could be even installed in your computer. See, if you are surfing the internet, the employee could know you. Okay, or playing games online, for example. Also, apparently Facebook is selling the user news feed. Okay, whatever you read on Facebook, okay, those information being sold to companies to advertise. Say for example, you are reading something on cars, and cars company could ever know that, and they could advertise on your Facebook. Okay. Some information rights. Okay. We have privacy. Okay. This is technically to let the individual to be left alone. Okay. Free from surveillance, free from any interference. Okay. Especially in the US, we have the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech. Fourth Amendment, unreasonable search and seizure. Okay. And other federal statutes, which is Privacy Act 1974. Fair information practices, a set of basically principle governing the use of information. Okay. This is basically rules. Okay, how you use information. Pretty much similar US and Europe. Okay. And also by the Federal Trade Commission or FTC in 2009. Right. So there are ways, for example, to attend to this issue. For example, they have the opt-in policy, okay, where let's say you subscribe to a newsletter, or you create an account. Okay, there's policy for you to opt in certain things and agree with their policy, or opt out. Okay. And also we have the do not track list, means you don't want people to call you on the phone to advertise, for example. So FTC principle, we have notice and awareness. So website should inform the user that they are collecting data in this case, and other principle could be the user could choose whether how they want the information to be used. Okay. Access, for example, are other companies able to access their data. Okay. So we have security. Okay. So companies must ensure that the data is safe, it cannot be hacked. Okay. And enforcement, basically they are required to abide to the law. Okay. Also in Europe, okay, here companies need to inform that they're collecting data, and also it requires consent from the customer, and the companies cannot transfer data from, in this case, other countries, to one country to another country. Okay. And they need to comply, and this is basically safe harbor. Having said that, some internet challenges in terms of privacy. Okay, we have cookies. Okay, cookies are basically files that could be downloaded to the internet. Okay, where while the user browse the internet, and this information relate to the website. Okay, and when the user surf the website again, technically the company will know that it's the same user. Other things like super cookies, flash cookies, okay, web beacon, basically web bugs. This is basically to monitor email. Okay, spyware, that embedded in your PC or laptop, where they can monitor the keystroke. Okay, it could be your password or username or even ads. And also we have Google, where when you search something and suddenly there's advertisement coming out. Okay, for example, handbags. Okay, and the next time you surf the internet on bags, handbags will appear. So here we have example of how cookies is being run. So the first part, okay, when a user surf the internet, the server is able to know what is the browser, uh, what's the OS, what's the email address, okay, and that information is sent to the server, and a tiny file, basically a cookie, it will be sent to the piece to the user, and there's a number that's generated, and when the user goes to the server or the website again, they are able to recognize the same user. So in the US, companies are allowed to gather information, and also they are self-regulated, right? And that's where some companies misuse it. Okay, and however, we as users should take the responsibility to in terms of opt-in or opt-out, okay, of your information. Solution, there's email encryption, where email are being encrypted, so it's hard to hack. Okay, anonymous browsing, which features that most internet browser have, for example, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Safari. Okay, cookie prevention, where you can delete your cookies. Okay, private browsing, do not track features. Okay, others. IP, intellectual property. Okay, so there's three uh, ways. We have trade secret, where information are not exposed to the public. Copyright, basically, is basically information that's protected for 70 years. Okay, patent 20 years. Right? These are some of the ways to protect. Okay. Challenges. Okay, today with the IT, digital media, replication is easy. Okay, you can share files easily, and you can copy and paste, okay, over the internet, okay, and make changes, right? Having said that, companies like Amazon and Kindle have their own book, where you're not allowed to own to copy, only to use their same device to be able to read it. And also we have Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which is upcoming. Accountability, liability and control. Okay, so some question should ask, if a software fail, who is responsible? Okay, any harm or any injuries. Okay, so who's going to hold responsibility, right? Who's liable? Okay, system quality. Um, so what is acceptable? Okay, what is feasible in terms of technology? Okay, we have errors, bugs. Okay, those of you are using Windows, we have patches. Even Mac, so they have system upgrade, hardware. Okay, failures, things like, after a while you need to upgrade your system, right? Consequences. Uh, So today with social network, okay, there's power balancing, okay, and most of the power is through the media, and you got you have influencer where they can change the influence of one environment to another, okay, and news could be spread quickly, right? And it's quite hard to maintain boundaries where news could travel all over the world quickly. Okay? Crime and abuse. Okay, so we do have things to look at: spam, right? Unethical costs, or right. Also, we have like software like ransomware where hackers do put in soft software to hack the system and hangs the system and demand ransom in order to unlock it. See, employment, re-engineering work. Okay, with today with technology, jobs are being changed and upgraded, and not forgetting equity and access. Okay, health risks. As more workers are bound to technology in terms of laptop, PC, devices, tablet, phone, we do get injuries. For example, RSI, repetitive stress injury, in terms of keyboard, tunnel vision, okay, uh, computer vision syndrome, okay, headaches, eye strain, techno stress. Okay, so those are the things that you need to take a look at. So that's pretty much it for the class today. If you have any question, please email me for Zoom appointment. And stay safe, wear mask. Thanks, bye.